Hello and welcome to Mishmash Soup. This is Melissa, and I want to welcome you to my random stream of consciousness. So, as always, I do have my guest host, the classy queer.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, so without further ado, let's get into that soup. Well, it's nice seeing you again.
Yes, I have
My
been
child.
off. I don't know how many podcasts you've released since my last one, but I'm sure a couple of them have been released where I haven't been featured. But I
Yeah.
am back,
Yes.
and it feels good to be recording again with you today. So yeah, there's that.
You've been busy because, like I said, you just had a big promotion, and it's going to
Yes.
be kind of taking up a little bit more of your time, which is why we're going to have more active guest hosts. So that's fine.
Yeah, that's always good. Plus, it kind of lets you expand, like you said, featuring other people other than just me, getting more
Diverse
diverse opinions on the podcast.
on topics and stuff. Yeah. Other than that, I had a good day at work. I just arrived home about half an hour ago, and I peeled myself from my vehicle because, of course, I still.
The leather was melted into your skin.
Oh my God! I literally cannot wait for winter. We don't have a real winter, but which it's going to be exciting because we have some good new plans for Mishmash Soup in coming months. But I'm not going to say anything right now. Just saying that be always on the lookout and listen because we've got some exciting new things coming for Mishmash Soup.
Yeah.
But
And I'm excited for it too.
yeah, it's
Because
gonna be
you
fun.
showed me
What I
the
have it planned?
plans, yes, and
Yes.
they seemed really fun.
And it's something that I don't think any other podcast has done. So it's going to be cool. It'd be kind of cool. I mean, and watch.
So you heard it here first. It's gonna be a first for any sort of podcast out there. So if once we start releasing them, and
Yes.
somebody's already done it, you can know that we said it here first.
We said it first because I don't think it's happened. I've been actually looking, and I don't think it's happened. So it will be fun. Other than that, also.
Oh,
Well,
I will say this too. I know I haven't been on recently, but I did come back from a trip.
yeah. Where did you go this time? Choke Canyon or Bell's Canyon?
So Choke Canyon was the last camping trip, and
Yeah.
that was earlier in July, for the 4th of July
Yeah.
weekend.
And for your birthday.
And for my birthday, correct.
So where did you go this time?
So this was near the end of July, so it was the 22nd through the 26th. We went to Guadalupe River State Park.
Whoa, you were gone for a longer time. Mm-hmm. Did y'all glamp?
Yeah, we definitely glammed.
Oh my
Yeah, I'm the kind of person that I can do a tent, but there better be amenities in that tent. There better be an air mattress. There better be a TV, an air
AC?
conditioner, which we did this time. We literally brought an AC unit, wall unit.
Oh,
And we
my
actually
God.
brought a 40-inch television.
Did you?
And the tent is a 12-person tent.
And
So
it was just
this
you
was
and
a big tent. Like you could literally stand up and still have room, and it was a 3-room tent.
And did y'all bring the air fryer that I gave Manny?
We had chicken tenders one night.
And they come out crispy in that damn
We
thing.
had we had chicken nuggets another night. We had French fries. So we brought a whole bunch of junk food, but it was such an awesome experience. I highly recommend if you
Glamping.
go glamping. But if you go to a state park or a campsite area that has electrical hookups,
Get
bring
that, right.
bring an extension cord and bring a wall unit, and then just lay
Watch
it
Netflix.
lay it on the because thankfully tents the entrances go way to the bottom, so you can literally just zip the tent door around the AC unit. And actually, we weren't the only ones doing that. There were 2 other people who brought wall units.
God. I can't believe it. Y'all slept in comfort.
Yes. Oh my gosh, because the temperatures got up to like 100 degrees was the highest, and
Oh my.
During the afternoon, thankfully, we had the AC running, but also we were in a shaded area too.
Now, isn't that great when you go take a dip into the lake and then you go and get into the
Oh,
AC
it wasn't.
after?
It was a river, not a
Oh,
lake.
well, but still, after you get wet and you're swimming and you go, it feels good to be in AC
Oh
after that
yes.
happens. And then you get sleepy and you fall asleep.
Which is what we did. We went. We actually went a little bit later in the day to go swimming in the river. We went around 6 o'clock, which is when the day trippers were leaving. They're not.
Okay.
They weren't there to stay like at the actual park. They were just there for the river.
Okay.
So they started leaving, and the people who were like actually camping there, those were the ones that were staying behind, and there was only a couple of them.
Yeah.
So we pretty much had the river to ourselves.
Wow.
And the sun was not setting yet, but it was kind of like that sunset aura, that atmosphere.
Yes. Oh.
And somebody in the background next to us was playing some jazz music,
Oh.
and we had some beers, and we were just literally like under a tent, not a tent, an umbrella, and we were just having the time of our life, just enjoying the view.
Decompressing.
And we did go into the river and we had fun, swimming.
Did anybody else go with y'all or just you and Manny?
It was me, Manny, and his friend Renee.
Oh, so she was there too. Okay,
Yeah,
so she
was
glamped too.
She glamped with us, and she was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you guys brought a TV in the tent." And we were there watching David Muir. We were watching, Hulu.
She was not complaining when she was watching her TV, right?
Oh no, I'm sorry. And Teddy went too.
Teddy, oh my god.
Yeah, we actually took Teddy.
Teddy must have gone crazy. All the smells.
Oh, he actually did really well on the trip. I was surprised because for those of you who don't know, Teddy is my Shih Tzu, my 16-year-old Shih Tzu. So
Who's
he's
blind and
old,
deaf.
Who's blind, deaf, and has one eye.
Yeah, yeah.
So he actually had a blast. He actually got into the river on multiple occasions. He
Wow.
walked into the river to like wade around in the
He's
water.
like, whoa, I'm living my best life. YOLO.
And I was of course on standby to make sure like I was there to like
CPR.
help him, move in the water because there was a slight current, but I was there with
He
him.
had fun. He was living his best life. Wow.
I highly, Mom, on the next camping trip you have to come.
Next time, yeah, I couldn't this time because, well, you know why. Without getting too personal, yeah, you know why.
Yeah,
But I
and-
also had surgery, so, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you did have surgery. I don't know if to your
I
listeners
haven't
know.
updated anybody about my health update.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
So I, of course,
She had a sex change.
my name is Mel. No, well, as y'all know, I had the mammogram, which ended up coming up, something was odd about it, so I had to go and get a biopsy, and then, of course, they told me that at the biopsy that I needed to get, that I needed to see the surgeon, the specialist.
Yeah.
My doctor said, we're going to, recommend you to the surgeon, which I was told multiple times by many people, even in coworkers, that he was one of the best surgeons in town. So I saw him and he told me that the reason why, even though it was benign, that it was a papilloma, and the papillomas can eventually, if left, untreated, or some of them will not amount to anything, but some can become cancerous. So he said, I just say remove it. And I'm like, hey, yep, me too. Remove it.
Yeah, I would have removed it too.
I don't want to have anything that might explode in me.
Yeah.
So I went for surgery last week on Wednesday, and because to me, one of the biggest fears is when I go into the surgery room, it's just that mask coming at you. Yes, you have an anesthesiologist there, yet all the team is there and they're more than capable, but it's something that's being done to you that's out of your control. You're
at the mercy of other people.
You're being made unconscious. So just having that mask come at me and them say, okay, start counting from 100 back. And it's like, so I was waiting because they wheel me in, and they're playing jazz music in the operating room. And I'm like, hey,
I was listening to jazz on the river while you're listening to jazz on the
in the
operating
room, yes. And I was like, and they were all moving about, hustling, bustling, going, oh yeah, I love this song. And I'm like, hey, I like jazz too.
Like, don't be thumping and partying while I'm on the table here.
I literally was like, they were having fun. And so I just said, hey, just remember, let me know when it's my time. I was just waiting for that mask to come at me,
Hmm.
and so they're doing their whole little thing, and next thing you know, I'm waking up. I did not know. There was no warning. So I think what they did was
They pulled a fast one on you. Is what
they
they did.
did something to my line.
Uh
They
huh.
gave me something that made me unconscious, and then they. But when I woke up, man, my throat was sore because they intubate you.
You were like, "Where's my mask? Mask up! Come on!"
I woke up with a mask on me, and you feel that soreness in your throat
Oh
because they
yeah.
put that intubation tube so you can breathe.
Hmm.
But I was like, I just kind of like wake up and I'm like, holy crap,
Hmm.
is it over? Because it took an hour. It literally took an hour. And then they said,
Wow.
oh, yeah, you're fine. They glued me. I said, wait a minute, what? Yeah, we super glued. You super glued my breast.
You got some gorilla glue?
I was like, what is this, E6000? I mean, they stuck surgical glue and they just told me to just
E6000.
thousand.
I'm just dying. For those of you who don't know, that's like an industrial strength glue that people use. A lot of people use it like in the craft community, but it's like industrial strength glue.
it can really bond your life.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh my gosh, because I come from a school where they used to sew you up.
Hmm.
But they're like, oh no, that way the scar, when it heals more fine or you can
Yeah.
barely see it.
That's
I'm
good.
like, I don't give a shit. Sew me up. Who cares if I look like Frankenstein in one tit? I don't care. But it was funny because Steve, they wheeled me back to the room and Steve was there waiting for me. And I stand up to
Hmm.
go and get changed. And he goes, whoa, you've got one boob all up and one boob is because they bandaged that puppy and it was like perky, like if I was in my 20s, thing was up. And I was like, holy crap. And then I put my clothes on, and the amount of bandaging that I had
Hmm.
and banding
Hmm.
looked like I had a fucking.
Like mastectomy?
No, like somebody gave me a augmentation in one boob and not the other. I'm like, what am I, a
You're
double
like,
D in
come on,
one
doc.
side and a D in the other,
Yeah, come on, even it out at least.
It's like, dang, if y'all gonna stick something in there, kind of, make them even. But I was, I always will say this: do preventative care
Hmm.
because I thank God that
Hmm.
I ended up getting back into the workforce after being laid off from COVID and losing my health insurance,
Hmm.
that I was able to get that preventative, care, that mammogram.
Yeah.
Because what if this wasn't left unfound,
Unchecked,
unchecked?
undiagnosed.
That by the time I would have found out, it would have already been cancer.
Hmm.
So, yeah, get out there, y'all guys. And I had everybody laughing at when they went in to put the line, they put a wire into my breast, and so they literally will thread a wire into my breast before they take me to the OR. And so I was there in this weird position, and they were kind of like putting, like, if you're getting another mammogram done, because they have to look at the wire, make sure they're hitting the right area.
Hmm.
And I'm like, she goes, I know, honey, it's uncomfortable, but just, hold that position. I go, you know what? These fucking men,
It sounds
they
so hard.
complain about a finger up the ass.
You gotta have to take a tube in the tit.
I go, damn
Oh my
it. And then
god.
they were laughing. They're like, oh my God, tell that to my husband.
Oh
He
my
complains
gosh.
about having a prostate exam.
Which yeah, I need to get mine done too at some point. But that was yeah. So I'm glad that you got the procedure done. You're
I'm
rid
gonna
of the
live.
thing. You're gonna live. So that's awesome. Like I'm just glad that that was the outcome of the situation.
Yes. And aside from that, I've been, now to get into this little
Hmm.
soup, I mean, have you heard what's been fucking blowing around out there? The Saharan dust.
Yes, I didn't hear that mentioned a couple times in the news.
I'm
I've
like,
been
what
I've
the
been
hell,
now
man?
granted I've been on this camping trip so I didn't get much of that. So what's going on?
Well, apparently this happened last year. It made because remember Manny's friend had thought she had COVID, but the doctor said it was the Saharan dust.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, it shows up every year. You know, it makes its debut every year. You know, and I'm like thinking, what else? I mean,
She's extra like that.
it's like, God dang
She's
it.
got to make an appearance at least once a year.
Saharan dust. Oh yeah, I was watching the news because I had heard about it last year, and then I look and they have the state of Texas, and then they have this brown shit over the state. And I'm like, what is this, a shit stain over Texas or what? And they're like, oh, we have this weekend the Saharan dust. I'm like, well, Saharan dust can take its ass back to Africa. You know?
We don't need her. We don't need her here.
We don't need it here. You know, we've been through crap. You know, murder hornets. We've been through the COVID.
Fire ants.
I mean, everything. And now fucking the dust, too. What's next? Locusts? You know?
Oh my gosh. Which I can totally see that being an issue here at some point, if it's not already.
Locusts.
Yeah.
I could just see that. Yeah, so, of course, my throat.
I know, same.
I got back to Texas when being on Maui for years with my husband. We had volcanic fog known as VOG. And they would talk about it on the news. Oh, tomorrow is going to be a foggy day. Everybody, you know, get your medicine out or whatever. You know,
Get your medicine out.
Because what happens is Kilauea blows the shit, you know, and it goes all over the islands. She loves to share. So I was like,
she's blessing you all with nature's.
And I'm like, what the hell? Vog? You know, Vog? And then sure enough, I come here, first time back in Texas after 20 some odd years, and it's like, what?
Just speaking about the Saharan dust has got my throat all like...
all kind of crazy, right? I'm telling you. So I not only have to deal with the shit allergies that plague San Antonio, because we are on the allergy belt. Now I have to deal with...
A lot of people, when they come to Texas, that's the first thing that hits them is the allergies.
Oh, God.
It hits you like a train. And I didn't realize that until like when I first came back to Texas.
Yeah, because you were in Maine, so you didn't really suffer too much over there from allergies. So
we have the mold in the oak, or is it oak pollen?
Oak pollen in Maine.
No. Here, I think it's like oak pollen. It's some sort of pollen.
We have everything. Remember. We have 23.
Yeah.
We have ragweed, cedar. We have mesquite. We have oak. We have black oak. We have mold. We have everything. We have dust mites. We have apparently Saharan dust now, but we have everything. And in Maine, what? Allergy to the snow.
Right.
That was it.
I don't miss the snow over there.
But you know, you got to experience winters with white winters. Did you really look? You hate it when
why gotta be white?
You hated when the snow would start, right? You really didn't like walking around in the snow.
You know what? But the thing with snow is there's always that first couple of days when the first snowfall that you're like, oh, it's so pretty, and like it blankets the grass just right, and it's undisturbed. Quiet. It's quiet. It's very like eerily quiet, but that only lasts for a couple of days, and you're like, okay, it's because then that 1-2 inch of snow then turns into a foot, and you're like, okay, now I have to start salting, then I have to start shoveling, I have to start climbing up the roof and taking off the snow off the roof. Yeah, it gets tired.
And then me, your mother, hello, I would throw like the salt in front of me and walk, and y'all would be like walking, and I'm like, and they would be like, come on, Mom, here, I'll help you.
You always even if it was table salt. You needed some salt with you.
Something, and you would be like, "Come on, Mom." I'm like, "No, you're gonna," and you would get me, and I'd be like, "Let go, let go."
Yes. Oh my God. But so have you heard like that we were gonna be having any Saharan dust storms or dust here?
No, it's here. It's supposed to leave by tonight.
Like, how do they know that? Like, what the hell is in this Saharan dust that's like identifiable?
That identifies it as
that's not like, oh, it's not American dust.
They go, they hear that when the dust blows through. They hear the little fucking drum beats. I don't know. Did somebody like go and get some dust and do a DNA match from it? Or do they track it?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I could imagine.
No, but yeah, like I'm wondering, like, what is it in that dust? Or, you know what? we're playing ignorant here. Let's use our brains. Let's critical think. I think it's called Saharan dust because I think they can track that, like the windstorms or like at least the wind pattern.
I guess. Let me tell you.
They must have satellites that can track the wind patterns, and they can
Yeah.
actually probably see the cloud coming from that region going over to us.
But when until these last 2 years, you've been here longer than I have. Have you ever heard of Saharan dust aside from last year and this year?
Yeah, like in growing up into my early adulthood, I've never heard of that.
Okay,
like, being
yeah.
a thing.
So it's a thing now. I think it's just something that
They were like, we
the
need some.
meteorologists are doing to trend.
Well, no, I was gonna say it has to be something that's always been, but the media needs things to talk about on a rotating basis. So like for a couple of years of let's bring up the Saharan dust. It's a big thing. It's a topic we need to talk about, and then like a couple of years from around, it'll be like nothing.
Get everybody all upset.
Even though it's still occurring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then of course in February we had the fucking snowstorm here, and I'm like, what? Am I back in Maine?
Oh yes.
I could not. People, we lived through it. It was straight up the entire state. Straight up fucking blizzard conditions.
Oh, and even in Marfa.
Yeah, we were in Marfa. We were in West Texas. It was whiteout conditions.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, we're not in New England anymore.
It was beautiful though.
It was, but when I
like to see literally icicles forming, like they were forming in the shape of the wind pattern. So like they were like icicles that were bent literally at a 90-degree angle.
Yeah, exactly.
And like they were at least 1.5 to maybe 3 feet long.
I couldn't believe it, and I was like thinking to myself because somebody said, "Well, you're lucky because you lived in Bangor, so you know how to drive in this stuff." I go, "No, my concern is the idiots out there that don't know how to drive in this shit. That's where I draw the line because I can get around fine, but it's everybody else that doesn't know how to drive.
The people who are in a hurry, who've never experienced that type of weather."
It's like, honey, you can have the best damn tires. You could be balling the best tires, but you hit a slick patch of ice, you're spinning.
Oh, which, by the way, when we were in Marfa, we did see that. Remember, we saw a whole bunch of 18-wheelers that were jackknifed and people that were...
Vans,
cars, 18-wheelers.
Remember the lady we were stuck behind on the way out of San Antonio? She was from California and she was like,
oh my God, that's so
and I said,
crazy.
And I said, I bet you she's going to pull over because we saw the grass.
Yeah.
Sure enough, she pulled over and started driving on the grass.
Oh my gosh. It was funny as hell.
So Saharan dust is a new thing. I think it's the meteorologists. They're all like wanting to try to drive up numbers, and so they have to name it something.
They have to make their job count.
Yeah, because there's just too many of them, I think. The only one I listen to, Manny says she knows her. Oh, hi, Manny. Sarah Spivey. She's the only one I listen to because Steve says she's a nerd, so she seems like she knows what she's talking about. But other than that, that was the big thing here is the Saharan dust. And then now we have yesterday. It was Sunday, so I didn't want to cook. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to Domino's. And everybody, what do y'all want? And so, I went and got, I ordered 3 pizzas. And so I went to Domino's. And
what type of pizzas did you get?
Well, I got the hand-tossed extra pepperoni. As I've gotten older, I just like pepperoni. Don't give me all that crap.
I don't know what it is about pepperoni. I don't know what it is about takeout pepperoni. But I hate it. To me, it smells funky and it tastes funky.
Really?
And that goes for Pizza Hut pepperoni, Domino's pepperoni,
whichever pepperoni.
So, yeah, it doesn't matter. Like for some reason, when somebody orders pizza takeout, and they happen to get the original pepperoni pizza, I don't know. I hate the taste of it. It tastes funky to me.
Well,
it smells like a foot.
I got the funky pizza.
The funky flavor.
And of course, Steve and Lee always get thin crust. Lee got his Alfredo garlic parm, the white sauce, and he always gets mushroom and spinach. And then Steve got black olives and hamburger.
For me, I love a vegetarian pizza. Spinach, olive, bell peppers, mushrooms, onions. I like everything on it except meat.
Except the meat.
Yeah.
Which is, what I like the veggie delights too.
That Veggie Delights or Subway.
No, they call well, whatever, the vegetarian
I was gonna
pizza.
say the Veggie Delights is Subway. That's what they call
Which
it.
Subway has just had to pay a bunch of shit money for not having tuna in their tuna sandwich. So
Oh my gosh, they had like horse meat or something.
no, it was literally
Pink slime.
they did a DNA and it was like no tuna.
It was like 50% tuna. What's the other
No,
50%?
it wasn't nothing. No tuna. It was like I think it was like pollock or some kind of cheap fish.
Oh my god.
But they had to pay a crap ton of money in that lawsuit.
Subway has literally been riddled with like lawsuits and
Ever since Jared.
scandals, and I think they one other story I heard regarding Subway was that they left their vegetables, specifically the tomatoes, and how they weren't always fresh, that they were like days old sometimes. Yeah. And so it wasn't always eat fresh. It was eat fresh sometimes if you happen to get
semi-fresh.
Yeah, if you happen to come on the right
on
time.
the right day. I will say I liked always, when I was on Maui, I would always get the Subway spicy Italian. I still get the spicy Italian with all the veggies except banana peppers, and I get the chipotle mayo. That's the hotter one, or the sriracha. One of them is the hotter than the other, but I always get that, and that's about it. And their avocado, their guacamole is actually quite spicy.
Oh, I love guac.
The guac, yes, but other than that, yeah. So I went to Domino's, and so I get out and I walk in, and they look at me and they go, "You here to pick up?" I go, "Yes, Melissa."
No, I'm here to just stand here and look pretty.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, here." And so so she said 19.99. So I gave her a 20, and then she slides the boxes to me, and I go, "Oh, okay, well, can I have some red pepper flakes and some Parmesan?" Because before they would just throw like bales of them at you.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, we charge now." I go, "What?" So I can't even get one or two, considering I've got 3 medium pizzas.
Like kind of like how when you buy something online, if you go over like $70, you get free shipping.
Yeah, I was like, I go, "When did y'all change this?" "Oh, you know what?" And she said, "Well, inflation." And I was like, "Okay, well, how much are they?" And I'm thinking, okay, they're little packets. Y'all have seen the little packets. I go, maybe 5 cents. Okay, She goes, 65 cents.
What?
I said, "What?"
For a packet of
65
pepperoncino flakes?
I said 65 cents for. She goes, "Yes." She goes, "How many did you want?" I go, "Well, none at that cost."
Yeah, you might as well just buy another pizza.
I said 65 cents is not even enough. I used to give that stuff away. And then she said again, "Well, I know you said inflation." Okay, I go, and then my son always gets the ranch cup. Well, how much for the ranch cup? $1.25. I was like, okay, just give me the fucking
At that point, they might as well just charge for straws and for the cups that you use. And
I should have told her, "Can I have napkins, or do you charge for that too?"
I mean, we're getting a little buck wild here. Like, I'm sure it's a little annoying to like be living in a place now where we have to pay
For
something.
everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I can see the logic in why a business would have to charge that, because we're living in like trying times now. But it is annoying, though. It is annoying that we are having to pay like 65 cents.
65 cents. Okay, maybe 5 cents, 10 cents, because
Yeah.
what's the cost? I mean, you buy it in bulk. You probably, the owner probably spends like $20 for like 1,000,
Yeah.
Be fair about it. Or you know what? In Japan, they give you one packet for your pizza, and anything else
Is extra.
you have to pay.
I can get down with that.
Okay, here you figure it's a medium. Okay, 2 packets maybe you get gratis, and then anything extra you'll have to pay. But nothing. Okay.
You know what?
Nothing.
I can understand it. If people are allowed to go up in arms about the price of gas going up 5 cents, then a packet of pepperoncino flakes and some Parmesan cheese going up 65 cents when it used to be free. Yeah.
So that got me thinking
But
about.
this transfers to other things. It isn't just the pizza.
Well, I went on Saturday. I went grocery shopping because I shop once a week. I get what I need for the week and stuff. And so I went to Walmart, in which I had to go to Walmart because they had certain things that I needed that I did not want to be doing two stops. One at HEB, one at Walmart. So I said, okay, I'll just take what I can
Yeah.
and make do with anything else that I need at Walmart. So I went and I was looking at the hamburger meat, and I'm like, holy crap, hamburger has gone up because I noticed at my little favorite breakfast stop, breakfast taco here at the La Torres.
Yeah.
Before I could get, a carne guisada taco like for $1.95 because it's carne guisada, bean and cheese is $1.45, but a little bit more for the carne guisada, and now it's like $2.50 because and they
Wow.
announced because of the cost of meat going up that we had to raise our prices. So I'm like, okay, bean and cheese it is then because I'm not gonna pay $2.50 for a carne guisada, so I'll just do the bean and cheese. But when I looked, I was like, oh, and there was somebody else standing next to me. She was looking, and she goes, and I go, wow, it's gone up. And she said, really? I know. She goes, I used to be able to get this pack of meat here just last month for the Walmart brand 80/20
Yeah.
of the ground chuck for like $6.98, and now it was $11.70.
What?
And I'm like, okay. And so I was really watching. There was somebody over there on the other side. They were marking the meat. And so when they finished, I said, I'm going to go for that because that's more fresh. They just packaged it. So she left, and I walked over there, and the other lady just said, okay, I guess I'm going to buy chicken because chicken's still cheap. It's not as, I mean, it has gone up a little, but chicken's still cheap.
You know what? I wonder if this is because it's inflation, right?
Yeah, it is
The
inflation.
well, due to I wonder if it's in connection. Oh, it must be in connection to the wages going up across the country. You know how the big push for $15 an hour minimum wage.
But it hasn't happened yet.
No, you're right. Which is
So if they're doing that because of that, then they're being a little bit presumptive.
yeah, because it's not every state that has that $15
No,
price
no,
hike.
it's not.
It's just, but you hear it all the time in the media, and so I think companies take into consideration, like they're listening and they're saying, oh well, people are pushing for that $15, minimum wage hike.
Well, then I say to them, wait until it actually fucking happens.
Yeah,
and not
nationwide.
Not every job is gonna do it, and not every job gets COLA also. So
True, cost of living adjustment.
So I was looking at her, so I went over where she was, and I was looking at the meat for like a pound and a half. Was almost $20, and so I'm like, okay, well, because I wanted to make tacos.
Yeah.
So I looked and I noticed, because you know me, Franklin, I'm always looking for the loophole somewhere.
Yes, you're like the coupon queen over here.
So the girl, I picked up a pack of almost a pound and a half. It was almost a pound and 3/4 of Black Angus 8515 premium sirloin ground beef. And I looked at it.
That sounds good.
And I looked at the price tag on the little, what do you call it? The little where they stick on the actual shelving.
Yeah.
And it said like 21 something. But I looked at what she had just stuck because she stuck the barcode on there. And I saw that it was mislabeled Chuck.
What?
For $10.47. So I said, well, I'm going to get me 2. And so I got 2, and I went and I just scanned. I mean, I didn't.
The self-scan?
The self-scan. I went and I scanned it. Hey, I have I know that she mislabeled, but you know what? Fuck, man.
Well, yeah, the way things are now, like, you'll take any help you can get. Yeah. Maybe that was the universe telling you, have one on me, girl.
So I'm like, hey, 2 for the price of 1. I got a 2-fer. And then I came home and I told Steve, me, how I'm always, because I'm literally the person that will go and find something that was even though if I know it was put in the wrong spot, and I look at it. Well, it was where it was. It said that that's how much it was. Well, ma'am, that was the wrong thing. Somebody put it. Well, I'm sorry, but that's, you know, it was not my. It's not my fault. You know, you have somebody there facing the products correctly, and so they have to honor. But
Most places will honor that. They'll just they won't want to go through the hassle. So most of the time they'll honor it. But don't make it a Karen thing.
Yolanda.
Don't make it a Yolanda thing.
So
Oh
yeah.
my
So have you
gosh.
noticed inflation in any?
So here's the thing. When it comes to the short answer is no, but no
don't shop.
because I don't really shop with my head. Like I literally just pick whatever's on the shelf, whatever looks nice, whatever. Oh, that looks good. Oh, I'll get that. Whatever's name brand. So I really am not a savvy shopper. I'm not. I'm actually the opposite of my mother. She's looking at prices. She's couponing. She's looking at deals. I'm just hey, whatever looks good, whatever I'm in the mood for, I'm gonna grab it.
If I like it, I'm gonna buy it.
And if it happens to be $200 for that grocery bill, oh well, I guess I'm paying $200. So I really haven't noticed inflation because I'm not really looking at prices.
Well, you don't do the grocery shopping too. I'm pretty sure
Well,
your partner has noticed the
So
price.
Manny has noticed the prices because I mean I just give him the money and he goes out and shops for
And
the
he
things
makes
that we
do
need.
with what you give him
Yeah,
for budgeting.
and he'll let me know like, hey Franklin, what you gave me wasn't enough. You're gonna need to go shopping again, and it's gonna be maybe $20 I'm gonna need or 30, and I'll just hand it to him. But I guess I'm removed from that whole process, so I really don't.
Because if you heard episode 1 or 2, he burns ramen noodles.
And it's not to say that I'm not savvy or I'm not, I don't budget elsewhere. It just happens to be that when it comes to groceries, groceries are like my one thing that I don't want to have to like pinch pennies for. I'll just be like, whatever I want to eat, because to me, food is food. I'm gonna eat it if I want to eat it, and if I don't want to eat it, then I just won't buy it. But I will pinch pennies when it comes to like video games. When it comes to clothing, is when I will pinch pennies, because if I happen to find a item of clothing I really want, I'll usually wait for it to be on special or on a deal. Which is why I use ASOS. So shout out to ASOS out there. Anyone who shops ASOS.
Hashtag not sponsored, but we would like to be sponsored by you.
Exactly. I shop ASOS almost exclusively. They're always having some type of sale.
He does. He would be a great poster child for you all.
But I love them. But anyways, yeah, so like I'll pinch pennies elsewhere, but when it comes to groceries, I really and that tends to be where people notice the inflation is groceries and.
Well, yeah, because it's a necessity.
Yeah.
It's not a want. It's a need. You need to eat.
And I guess also another thing is where you see it too is like the price of gas.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's always fluctuating.
Yeah.
And it seems to fluctuate depending on who's president.
Yeah, let me tell you, because I've noticed it's been slowly creeping up, and I go, soon it's going to be Hawaii prices.
I know.
I was like, wow, $267.
But politics aside, so gas is something that I also notice people getting angry about when it does go up. I do know it's one of those things in life that fluctuates.
It's a trigger point.
But it just, for me, I never get upset with gas price, even if it does go up literally $1.
You're like, okay, to me, I guess I'll pay it.
I guess I'll just pay the $1. But see, I guess I'm privileged enough to be in a situation in my life where I have a comfortable
situation
income.
Yeah, you do.
I have comfortable income. I don't have much debt really, and I have, I don't have any kids.
Your income to debt ratio is really low.
Yeah, I don't have any kids. I'm not married. I'm not, so I have the luxury of living that sort of. I live that privileged lifestyle.
Well, although you are in a committed relationship, a long-standing one, y'all don't have those kids that the ones that drain your wallet. All you have is Teddy.
And Teddy he drains our wallet. Teddy does drain our. He is our child, but we do take care of him. But yeah, it's just. I have to recognize my privilege, and that is I have a nice job. I have a great, lifestyle where I don't really have to worry about that kind of stuff.
He's got a fabulous lifestyle. Let me tell you, if only I was that age again and have the fabulous. I literally, when I see my son driving around or I see him walking, up the stairs to my house or whatever, I hear a theme song. I do. He has a running theme song, as he
Vogue,
walks.
Vogue.
It's good to be me. Vogue.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
So,
so I guess that's just like the reason I'm even speaking to that is just to
give
kind
me
of
your
count
take.
my take on inflation. And that is in certain parts of life, I really just don't notice it, or I don't even care to worry about it because I'm,
You
I don't
can't be bothered.
have to. Yeah, I have the luxury of not having to worry about it.
Now, the only time you'll get concerned is when Manny says, "Hey, we gotta buckle down." You'll be like,
Yes.
"Oh."
Oh shit.
You'll be like, "Oh, okay." You can't shop today.
Yeah, well, where I do start to notice it is if it's near the end of the month and I know I've splurged a little on like other things, he'll let me know like this we need to buckle down and we need to make sure that we have enough money for gas that it's gonna be coming up because you're gonna run out of gas soon. He helps me in grounding me.
Well, the thing is, here's the thing about Manny that I liked.
Mhm.
Inherently, because I've told you the same thing over, but until you hear it from somebody else, it
Mhm.
doesn't sink in.
Yeah.
Manny has he's a director, so he has a very good salary, but
Mhm.
he does not be trivial with his income.
Yes.
He lives by these
You.
limits, and he is not about to bail you out. So
Yeah.
he'll be like, you have to, because it doesn't teach you anything.
So we've been in a relationship. So to speak on that, we've been in a relationship that's going on a decade now, 10 years, and uh, we are completely separate financially. We live together under the same roof. We love each other obviously, but we keep everything that's finances separate. So he has his own money, his own line of credit, his own bank account. I have the exact same, but just for me. And if I want a car, if I want to buy a home, there's no Manny, can you co-sign for me? Because I wouldn't want to have to lean on somebody like that, nor would he want that either. It's if you have the money and you have set yourself up to do something like that, then clearly you're in a position to do it. And if you're not, then you better make sure you prepare yourself for that situation. So, yeah, when it comes to when it's the end of the month and I need to buy groceries and I happen to, go a little overboard elsewhere, he's not going to go out and, oh, Franklin, it's okay, I'll buy you some food. He's going to say, hey, here's how you can cut your finances elsewhere. Or, sorry, this is how you can cut your expenses elsewhere to make sure you have that money for the end of the month to buy the groceries that you want to eat. Because he'll go out and buy his own food that he wants to eat and buy and splurge on. And he'll let me know, hey, this is for me. If you want something, you make sure you go get it too. On the flip side, if that's not a constant, there will be moments where we will, where we
You have your shared food, but
yeah,
then you have your little
what we want.
what you want, your treats, as you call it.
And that's so basically to speak on that even further is I'm just glad I've had that person in my life who has taught me what it means to be stable on your own. And which is it's really something I needed because if I didn't have him, I would be the kind of person that would want to rely on somebody or oh, we're in a relationship, so you need to do this for me. And it's like, no, you should be able to do something for yourself on
Well,
principle.
wouldn't you say that? What did you say one time that he told you? Franklin, you're basically dating your mom.
Oh my god.
And you,
Yes. What is it? Oh my gosh. There's like, isn't that what the Oedipus complex is?
because we're both Tauruses, we're literally 4 days apart on our
Literally.
birthdays,
So
and
this
he
was just
was.
something. This was something that I didn't even know about. But when we started dating, come to find out, he's a Taurus, like my mother. Come to find out, his birthday's in May.
We do the same things,
Yeah,
coupons. Do the
he's frugal with his money. He pinches pennies. He coupons. He looks at deals. He is basically
He does the surveys on those receipts to get the free burger.
he's stubborn to a T, just like just like a bull.
Like me. That's how I was, and Franklin would be like, "Oh, mom, oh,
He's the homemaker for sure. He's the foundation, and in some ways, where he,
is strong."
well, I was gonna say where he can come off very stoic and unwilling to move. I think that's where I kind of what's the word I'm looking for?
Falter.
No, that's where I kind of balance him out. Because I'm more frivolous. I'm more like, oh, like
You're
spur
the
of the
free spirit.
free spirit, spur of the moment, more of the emotional one. But I counteract that.
Yeah,
I
it's a balance. It's a yin
counterbalance
and
it.
yang.
Yes, I counterbalance that. And
And you said he told me that once, and I was like,
I'm a Cancer, by the way. So we
and
have an
what
Earth sign and a water sign.
and what did you? What was your reaction when he told you that? No.
Oh my gosh. I was like, I'm not dating my mom. He's like, yeah, you are. As much as you want to say that you aren't dating your mom, you really are. I'm like, oh my God, that sounds so weird.
Because I literally, when I go and visit, I'll say things like, and he'll go, I tell him all the time. And it's like, sometimes your children, they will not take your advice, but they'll take it from a stranger or from a
Yeah.
friend. So the things I would tell my children not to do or that they had to do, oh, mom, you don't know anything. And
I'm finding it in Manny.
and he finds it in his partner, which tells him the same thing. And we literally, because it's like, I feel those, I asked for those receipts. I go, yeah, I'm going to do the survey. I'm going to get the BOGO on that burger.
And he does. He really does. Oh my gosh, he will. We will go out to eat and we'll get something from McDonald's or Whataburger. Whataburger's a real big thing here in Texas. Shout out to them too.
Yes.
But he will literally take the receipt and do the survey at the bottom, and we'll save the coupon if there's a coupon attached to it, and we'll go back to get that free thing at a later date. I can't be bothered with stuff like that.
And then he goes home and he's got food and he gives you the free burger.
Yeah,
and
like if he happens to go out that, later on in the week and he gets that free burger that he signed the survey for or whatever, he'll get that to me like, that was from the survey. And I'm like, oh, I mean, I appreciate it, but like, I just can't be bothered to do those stupid
He's
surveys.
like, well.
They're just so like, oh, I have better things to do.
Well, like right now, I've got like almost 6,000 points on McDonald's because McDonald's also took away the dollar menu.
What?
They no longer. Oh yeah, I'm notorious.
What?
Every time I go through the drive-through, I go because they're known for any size drink $1. And so I would always in the morning get my sweet tea, and then I would pull up that little coupon and I would get, with the minimum purchase of $1, you can get a free breakfast sandwich. So I would go and order my egg McMuffin, get it for free, and pay $1 for my drink, $1.08. So I went one morning last week and I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna have my egg McMuffin and a large sweet tea with extra ice. And they're like, okay, they said, blah 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 blah. And I go, okay, it's not gonna be that much because I'm gonna pull out the coupon. So when I go up there, I show them the coupon. They gun it, they scan it. They go $1.97. I'm like, what? They said $1.97. I go, what was $1.97? The drink is $1. Oh no, it's not. We no longer have the dollar menu. So
That's
now,
crazy. So that's something I never even knew about.
Yep, last
I
week.
just assumed it was always there.
No, and they go, I go, well, what is $1 now? The small. I go, the small. The small, it's 8 ounces. It's a fucking cup. What, $1? And they go, and then she said, well, inflation, the cost of soda and everything has gone up. I'm like, God damn it. Well, do you want the tea? Well, yeah, I have some. They're fumbling for my $1.97, my 97 cents extra.
I guess we're getting all up in a tizzy about the $1.97, but where it matters is that for the people who don't have a job where the price of living has been adjusted, where their wages have been adjusted for the cost of living, that's where it hurts those people the most. Because little by little, their luxury things that they want to get in life starts to be chipped away. Because now they don't have that extra 97 cents when they were used to getting $1,
For the drink. And
Yeah.
I love that drink. I'm like, $1.97. Oh, I was furious, and I still drive by there, look at them, and I snarl. I'm like,
from the window, you're like glaring at them.
yeah. But now I'm like, today I went there and I go, what am I gonna get? This the cheapest thing, so I can get my free soda. I mean, my free tea, because I needed my free tea. I'm a tea addict, sweet tea. So I looked and I go, I'm gonna get. It's $1.20, but I'm getting the hash brown.
Did you say you're an ET addict?
No, I'm a tea addict.
Oh,
tea.
I thought you said an ET addict.
No, I'm a tea addict. So I went and I got my tea, my large sweet tea, and I got a hash brown extra well done. And then of course it was $1.20, $1.32 with tax, but I got my $1.97 drink for free because I'm not about to give up my sweet tea. So I'm like, I'll just use the coupons.
Yeah.
I'll just use them. So yeah, that's
That's
all.
inflation for you.
That's inflation for you in a nutshell, folks.
Who needs it? Who wants it?
I don't know. But I don't know. This was just something different that we wanted to talk to you about. I mean, I wanted to actually get it off my chest. So I mean,
Just some experiences you've had regarding that.
I'm pretty sure that y'all have seen inflation in places. I mean, I would like to hear from y'all. I mean,
What have you noticed going up?
exactly. Have you noticed it? In food and luxury items.
Like obviously in foods and in luxury items, but like what specifically that just kind of was the tipping point for you?
That made you kind of go, huh? Me? Huh? I was like, Domino's? I mean, I had just finished recovering from losing my $1 drink at McDonald's, and then I get hit with a Domino's 65-cent pack for some nasty ass cheese and dried up flakes, Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm gonna get myself.
So send us your stories of
Inflation.
experiences you had with inflation, and we'll be sure to. Hey, you know what? And if anyone does happen to send you some stories, maybe we should read them in the next podcast.
Yeah, if you send some stories or some, what you've experienced, I can read them out. I'll be happy to do that, and let me know in the email if you are okay with me using your name or not. I can just say this was from Redacted.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I want to thank the Classy Queer, my son, for stopping by. It's been always a pleasure to have him.
So glad to be here.
And I cannot wait for y'all to see what's coming up.
Oh, for the winter months?
Mishmash soup coming up. Yeah. So anyway, that's going to be good. And actually, you can go follow me on TikTok too.
She does have a TikTok.
I do have a TikTok. It is.
She's getting into it. She's learning the ropes.
Oh my gosh. You make me sound like I'm some kind of an idiot or something. I mean, Mom,
I never said that.
You're on TikTok.
So she is on TikTok. And you can also follow me on Instagram at The Classy Queer.
Yes. And on TikTok.
Oh, and on TikTok, The Classy Queer as well.
He does have some really good stuff there.
I need to update it though. Like I haven't really posted anything recently.
Yes, you have to. You have the hiccups now. But remember, new episodes every Thursday at 6 a.m.
That was the universe telling you it's time to cut.
Okay, so we're going to dip. Oh, God.